again, this is Priscilla Batzell in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Art Studio Gallery in the backyard on a scorcher. I think they said it was going to feel like 99 degrees today. And believe me, it's pretty close. So I'm going to use this 11 by 14 inch canvas, and my leftover paints consist of basically the Neon from Folk Art, which is a multi-surface acrylic, and the Purple Flash from Folk Art, which is a color shift. And I have Prussian blue in there, and I have white enamel from Folk Art that's a gloss. And I have other colors that I want to add to this. I'm not sure what I'm going to get, but I don't know if I said even. I'm going to do an inversion pour, and I'm going to use the top half of a bottle that I cut off. You could use any bottle top you want. I'm going to make sure I can get my green gold color shifting Folk Art out of the container and take that lump of threaded nastiness away so it doesn't wind up in my tip again. Give it a quick shake. I thought I was going to use some gold magenta, but I'm not so sure about that. I think what I am going to do is use some turquoise, because I think that would be nice, and that's what I used in the other one. So, you know what? I'm changing my mind back again. And I hope it's alright. And then, I'm going to do something even weirder. I'm going to add some white metallic from Anita's, which I usually call pearl, and I'm going to squeeze that right in there. So I need a puddle of paint, and I've got to decide what it's going to be. And I think what it's going to be is out of one of my larger bottles, which the only one that seems to be handy is gold. So let's find out what happens. I just mixed up this gold. Place that right in the middle. I've got a smaller container of it, so I should be able to squeeze it around the outside edge. I've never done that. You know what? I'm going to make sure I can squeeze that out. These are similar colors to something I just did that you've probably seen recently. I want some black in there. I want some black, and I think it's going to be, I guess it's not going to be the enamel because I can't find it. And I guess it's not going to be coming out unless something changes. Oh, I got it. Cool. I love it when the little plugs just pull out. Alright, so here goes nothing. Probably more paint in there than I need, but I can always pour it off onto an edge catcher. I've still got paint in there, and I thought I was going to use it all up, but then, you know how it goes. So, what did I say? I said I was going to squeeze some gold around there. That puddle of paint looks pretty thick. I really want some black in there. I'm going to do it. I've got my edge catcher handy without bottles on it. Thank you very much. I'm going to slowly lift this, very slowly, so that it does not escape the paint. Oh, the enamel in there is making some incredible cells. That is very cool. Look at all those cells. So that reminds me, a lot of times, a lot of people, other than me, usually hit it, an inversion pour right out of the gate to release any bubbles caught in the paint. You don't want to overdo it, because if you do, wow, I just like to keep that. But I think it's going to be pretty good. I want to do weird stuff. Let's do weird stuff. I want to do all kinds of weird stuff. Good thing I'm alone and nobody can tell me I can't. Let's grab some of this. Because I can. Those are pretty colors. So the more paint that I spread, the easier it will be to flow the next paint that I want to move. So that's one good reason to do this. Even if it doesn't come to anything, at least I'm spreading out paint. And that's okay with me. I don't want to take any of those cells though. But you can see the paint wants to flow where the other paint is going. Alright, I'm throwing that in the bucket. That may have been pointless, except for it's really cool. Those cells are magnificent. Now, I would normally say that I could use paint around the edges and keep the puddle of paint that I've got in the center, but there's so much paint here, I'm not going to do that. Plus, I want to see what the inversion pour reaction is, and we've already got some great cells as a reaction from the enamels put in there. Even a little bit of enamel, gloss, semi-gloss, any kind of enamel usually causes a reaction, even to the point of affecting all of the other acrylic paints, not even mixed into it. So this looks like it's going to be a cloud pour version of an inversion pour. I am just going to keep going around with the flow of the paint, going with the flow. And at the end of this, if I'm not super thrilled or I'm not impressed with my patterns, I've got paint in bottles and I'm not afraid to use it. But we've got some really, really cool pastels. I almost never see pastels. That's got to be that white gloss affecting everything. So when I get far enough, and close enough to the edge without going over, I can then use my edge catcher. I don't really want to use it until I get that close. So as you can see, the paint flows back toward the center, and as soon as I get it a little further than the center, then I can get brazen and try and fill this gap over here a little bit by creating a wave of paint. It's something you need to get used to if you haven't done it yet. Let's grab an edge catcher just in case I fluff it, which I'm not planning on doing because I love seeing these colors and those patterns. And as long as I can keep my wave going without any rivulets, I'm getting something really neat. And if I have any drips and they happen to go on the edge catcher, so be it. This is definitely it can be accidental art at its finest. I don't see a lot of the gold, but I really didn't actually expect it. But for some reason, I think it caused a pretty excellent catalytic conversion reaction. So I still haven't torched again, and that's what I want to do, is torch again. If I see any things in there, I want to pull them out with my tweezers. I have incredible lacing. I really want to put some magenta in there. Don't ask me why. So I'm going to try and do this right-handed, which feels like left-handed to me, even though I'm a right-handed person, because I always do it left. Like, oh, it's hot. It's hot out here and it's sticking to me. Okay, so that covered, and I'm just going to use that same paint right down here. That's pretty intense. I'm going to take any of the paint that I see anywhere here and use it to cover any spots. Let that go right over the side. I can always grab paint off my edge catcher to cover my edges. We are slow moving. There is a certain level of patience involved with doing this that I don't always necessarily have, but I am loving seeing all those patterns, and very unusual. The pastel, I'm willing to take what I get at this point. And this is when I'm going to try and make a puddle. As soon as I make a puddle, I can rock the edge of my canvas. Squeeze it, rock it. You can even move it down and flow some of that paint right back into the canvas. I've got more too, and I'm going to use it. I'm going to scrape it right in, flow it right over. That's pretty intense. I can often fill the holes with the paint off the edge catcher, off my tile, or stick my fingers right in it I need to wipe off that a little bit. I'm going to grab some of this paint right now. Oh, we got rain on the way, I think, which can be lucky unless it comes down hard, in which case it gets me soaked. So I'm going to try and use most of my leftover paint to cover my edges, even to the point of that brown, which isn't lovely. It's very blue-brown in some cases, so I'm not too worried about it, but the white enamel definitely affects the color schemes of things. Oh, that's a nice breeze. Let's hope it doesn't come with thunder and lightning. Wow! Okay then! One of my canopies was evidently holding about 20 gallons of water and just let it go. I'm glad I wasn't standing under that. I love the OXO omelet turning spatula that you can find on my Linktree Amazon link, because it definitely does an excellent job of covering the edges with a nice little layer of paint, which I have just enough left of to cover right there. Yep, I can hear that thunder. It's making me nervous. Mostly because I don't like the idea of anything deciding to fly into my artwork, more than anything else. The wind is coming up. Time to move the edge catcher away from the painting. Alright, so it occurs to me I might want to just pour some really bright colors in there, but just because I have them doesn't mean I should do that, right? I could so do that. Let's just take a little tiny bit. We're not. Wow. Alright, I don't mind that. I'm going to torch. I might have to get out of here hastily. They're very rich pastels. And it looks like every color of the rainbow is in there, really and truly. So this is an inversion pour that's all about the enamels. Very pastel agate. I don't think I'm going to be trying to get this to go in the yard anytime soon to take a picture of it. But anything that I've got here for paint is all usable. Even the gray stuff will cover an edge. Plus, if you put it on the edge and there's paint above it, chances are it will drag it right down, pull it right over, so it won't even stay. I just don't want this painting to be in the air when the next gust of wind comes up, because I don't know where it would land, and that would be unfortunate. Alright, I love you guys. There's 87,000 of you plus on Expressionist Art Studio Gallery, Priscilla Batzell Art, but there's only 500 here, so if you're not subscribed, please feel free to subscribe. I'd love to have you. If you watch the videos longer, you help me out. I really appreciate that. If you share the videos, it helps me out. If you want to join the other patrons of the studio who'll help me keep making videos, look for PayPal or Patreon links underneath the link tree, underneath the video. And look for the prizes on an exhibition video on my other channel's last 20 seconds of any video. Please give me a thumbs up. I appreciate your comments. You keep my morale boosted. And there's playlists with over 1,450 videos on Expressionist Art Studio Gallery, Priscilla Batzell Art. So I love you guys. I'm glad they're here. I hope you come again. I don't know how long there's going to be a video every day, or even if it's going to be posted at the same time. But thank you for coming. I'm sure I've forgotten something. I have 2 books. Expressionist Art Studio Gallery has 2 books, Because I Can and Unlimited Possibilities. I do sell my artwork, and I do give classes at the house in Spring Hill, Florida. So if you want any information regarding anything, please just ask me in the comments or use my email address underneath the video. Thank you for being here. See you soon. Bye for now. Priscilla out. I know, I'm weird today. Hot brain. You guys take care of each other and take care of yourselves. I love you. See you anon. Bye for now.